All right, so we need to talk about ChatGPT and what is happening right now, which is really crazy to see. In this post right here, you can see from Gary Marcus, it says Elon Musk, Benjo Russell, Tegmark, Grady Booch, Andrew Yang, Tristan Harris, and over 1,000 others have called for a temporary pause on training systems exceeding GPT-4. Elon Musk and several other prominent figures, as well as thousands of others, have asked for a temporary pause, a 6-month pause on the training dataset that is being provided to GPT-4 in fear of what it is becoming, because there's actually a research report that just got released that Microsoft was actually working with GPT version 4 since October of 2022. And some of the findings that they reveal in this report is pretty crazy, which is why people like Elon Musk are signing a petition to stop before it gets too late. And this petition is coming from the futureoflife.org. So Elon Musk has been very vocal for years about his fears about how artificial intelligence could become sentient and how that could potentially impact the future. And in this report, it reveals that GPT-4 is actually able to learn, it's actually able to correct itself, improve by itself, it's autonomous. And these are the sparks of an artificial general intelligence that Elon Musk is so afraid of, which is why he is signing this petition. So in this video, we're going to be covering some of the highlights of this report, and I'll also include a link to the report in the description of this video. And here's actually a tweet from Elon Musk saying, leading AGI being artificial general intelligence developers will not heed this warning, that at least it was said. And again, this is regarding from the futureoflife.org, the petition to pause giant AI experiments, an open AI letter. So before we cover the report, let's just highlight some of the fears that are coming from Elon Musk as well as several others. So why Elon and so many others are afraid of what's happening is because you can see here, unfortunately, a level of planning management is not happening. Even though recent months have seen AI labs locked in and out of control race to develop and deploy even more powerful digital minds that no one, not even their creators, can understand, predict, or reliably control. Contemporary AI systems are now becoming human competitive at general tasks, and we must ask ourselves, should we let machines flood our information channels with propagandas and untruth? And I think a really good example of this recent propaganda or untruth that was coming from artificial intelligence is from this picture that circulated the web recently of the Pope in his drip. And this is what was circulating. And a lot of people actually believe that this was actually the Pope, but this is actually an image that was created in Midjourney that blew up, and people were believing that this was actually real. Should we automate all the jobs, including the fulfilling one? I just posted a video yesterday talking about how jobs are actually being impacted by ChatGPT. And there was another recent article that just came out from Goldman Sachs saying that they estimate that AI could automate 300 million full-time jobs. And Goldman Sachs is thrilled about that. So of course, Goldman Sachs would be ecstatic that they could automate so much of their process. But because there is such an arms race to just trying to develop the AI technology, that nobody is actually taking the time to think about what AI could actually do to humanity. Should we develop non-human minds that might actually outnumber, outsmart, obsolete, and replace us? Should we risk the loss of control of our civilization? Nobody is asking these questions, which is why Elon Musk, as well as thousands of others, are saying that there needs to be a pause put on this, because this is happening way too quickly and nobody is taking the time to have these conversations and to put safe blocks in place. They reiterate this here, saying that powerful AI systems should be developed only once we are confident that their effects will be positive and their risks will be manageable. Right now, we don't know how positive the effects of AI are going to be, and it sounds like there's no risk management being set in place currently. You can see here that they're calling on all AI labs to immediately pause for at least 6 months the trainings of AI systems more powerful than GPT-4. So there are systems that are even more powerful than GPT-4. This article that we're going to be talking about over here specifically saying that there are sparks of artificial general intelligence within GPT-4. So if there's things that are even more powerful than GPT-4, then it is probably already at the level of artificial general intelligence. They're saying that AI labs and independent experts should use this pause to jointly develop and implement a set of shared safety protocols for advanced AI design and development that are rigorously audited and overseen by independent outside experts. These protocols should ensure that the systems are adhering to the safety and reasonable doubt. This does not mean to pause AI development in general, merely just step back from the dangerous race to the ever larger, unpredictable black box models with emergent capabilities. So that's the crazy thing, is that a lot of these developers in these AI labs, they don't even know what it is that they're messing with. They don't understand maybe the potential ramifications of what happens if you just start trying to make something so smart that it can repair itself, that it can think for itself, that it could decide whether it should take over a whole system or not. These are things that we see in movies, but as we can see, these tools are actually able to correct themselves. They're becoming smarter. They're becoming quote unquote sentient. They're also calling that policymakers also start to regulate AI, and that there's dedicated regulatory authorities over AI, such as oversight and tracking of highly capable AI systems and large pools of computational capability. We've recently seen some major developments in AI in being able to replicate voices from things like presidents, and there's been these presidential memes that are going all over TikTok and social media right now, and there's actually people that believe that these conversations are happening. There was another example of someone using these AI voice cloners to take Joe Rogan's voice, and then they actually used his voice to sell another product. They were using Joe Rogan's authority without his explicit consent and selling a product, and the person got away without any repercussion because there's no regulation in place protecting people like Joe Rogan or yourself from being taken advantage of, or having AI, let's say AI becomes sentient and it's able to start creating propaganda or creating media, and if there's no control set in place, then you don't know where this information is being disseminated from or what the actual intentions of that information being shared with you are. And if you go down to the bottom of this petition, you can see some of all the different people that are signing this petition. People like Yoshua Bengio, as well as their credentials, Stuart Russell, Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak, Andrew Yang, and the list goes on and on of a bunch of credible people, even within the AI space, that are signing and asking to put a temporary pause on this AI development. So I'm going to be including a link to this research paper as well as the petition in the description of this video. I'm going to be walking through this email that I received from the Deep Learning Daily community, and you can subscribe to their newsletter. They produce a lot of really great information all about deep learning, but they did a really good job of summarizing this entire research paper. There's over 155 pages, so if you want to be able to go through yourself and read it, it's definitely got some really interesting information in here that's showing images of actually GPT version 4 starting to learn what it is, how to be able to make a unicorn using this TIKZ programming language. And you can see here what it started out with, and then it was actually able to learn and develop a unicorn. I'll include that research paper again in the description, but I'm just going to be covering what they've already covered and outlined in this email. So one of the ways that they were able to identify that GPT version 4 actually had some intelligence was that GPT-4 does more than memorize its training data and has a deep and flexible understanding of concepts, skills, and domains. They say here that you have to take a different approach to study its intelligence, something that's closer to traditional psychology rather than machine learning, leveraging human creativity and curiosity. So they're saying that GPT-4 actually has curiosity and creativity, and it does more than just memorize. It's actually able to understand concepts, skills, and different domains. What the researchers did was that they were actually probing GPT-4's responses and behaviors to verify its consistency, coherence, and correctness, and to uncover its limitations and biases. So they were testing it multiple times, seeing that if this is just a one-off type of occurrence, or if this was a repeatable thing, that GPT-4 was actually aware of the answers that it was giving. So now we get into some of the different findings that they used after testing GPT-4. In this test, they were testing GPT-4's ability to synthesize information from different domains and modalities and apply knowledge across different contexts or disciplines. And what they found was that GPT-4 was able to perform a variety of different tests, multimodal and interdisciplinary composition. So it excelled in combining skills and concepts from various domains like literature, medicine, law, and more, showcasing its ability to comprehend complex ideas. GPT-4 was able to integrate multiple different domains where it could generate text and code and merge knowledge from multiple different disciplines, producing creative and novel outputs. Examples include producing JavaScript code for Kandinsky-style images, a Shakespeare-style prime number proof, and Python code for diabetes risks assessments. They discovered that GPT-4 had very good vision, demonstrating genuine visual abilities, generating detailed and identifiable images using scalable vector graphics or SVGs. And GPT-4 was actually able to create some really good tunes using the ABC notation with clear structure and consistent time signatures. However, it did struggle with things like harmony, and it doesn't recognize or reproduce popular tunes in ABC notation. The researchers tested GPT-4's ability to reason and think abstractly through its coding ability and mathematical prowess. So we've seen the examples of GPT-3 and GPT-4 being able to actually produce code, and it's able to read the code, understand existing code, provide you reason as to why it is putting in specific lines of code. So they say that it's empowering engineers and non-skilled users. And I've actually seen non-developers, people that don't understand code, being able to use ChatGPT to create plugins and different tools. They tested GPT-4 on its math abilities, and it showed that it has improved math skills compared to previous language learning models, but still falls short of expert levels. The researchers tested GPT-4's ability to plan and solve problems, and to some extent to learn quickly and from experiences by having it play various games and interact with specific tools. So here's some pretty crazy things, is that GPT-4 can access external tools like search engines, APIs, and command line interfaces to overcome limitations and enhance its own performance. So here they're saying that based on the research that GPT-4 is actually very smart and that it's actually able to improve itself. GPT-4 can also combine multiple tools together and use them in combination, showcasing its ability to understand tasks and adapt based on feedback in diverse scenarios. The researchers tested how well GPT-4 understands humans. They said that GPT-4 demonstrates an advanced theory of mind, excelling in reasoning about the mental states of others and proposing actions for cooperation in social situations. It can handle abstract and novel situations, outperforming other models in complex scenarios. GPT-4 demonstrates an advanced theory of mind, excelling in reasoning about the mental states of others. GPT-4 is able to understand people's emotions, and it was actually able to successfully reason about a character's emotional state and beliefs, making inferences based on incomplete information. It showcases its ability to process abstract scenarios. Researchers tested GPT-4's ability to discriminate. Here they said that GPT-4 has a discriminative prowess. GPT-4 excels at detecting personally identifiable information and outperforms specialized tools like Presidio, even without examples. It's able to understand misconceptions. GPT-4 shows better truthfulness in open world questions. GPT-4 has self-explanations. The model can understand why a generated answer is closer to the gold answer, demonstrating its ability to evaluate responses and align well in human assessments. Here, the researchers identified some of the limitations of GPT-4 and its autoregressive architecture. So there's no backtracking, no inner dialogue or scratchpad, no long-term memory, has a short working memory. Here they're saying GPT-4 has confidence calibration issues where it's not able to understand, where GPT-4 doesn't know whether to guess or whether it is confident. GPT-4 cannot update itself or adapt to new information, so it does not have the ability for continual learning. Personalization, GPT-4 lacks personalization for specific users or organizations, and there's no way to incorporate user preferences or organization-specific information. Planning and conceptual leaps, GPT-4 struggles with tasks requiring far ahead planning and or conceptual leaps, typical of human genius. Transparency and interpretability, GPT-4 hallucinates, makes up facts, and lacks consistency. Its explanations may not be accurate. Trust and collaboration can be challenging. GPT-4 has cognitive fallacies, which may exhibit biases, irrationality, and statistical fallacies inherited from the training data. GPT-4 has input sensitivity, so the responses are sensitive to the prompt framing and wording. Hallucinations and biases need further studying. And then addressing limitations. Some of the limitations may be addressed with a slow thinking overseer, integration of long-term memory, hierarchical text structure for a top-down generation. So here's where the researchers identify that there are sparks of AGI, or artificial general intelligence, intelligence. They say GPT-4's depth and generality of capability suggests a need to move beyond the classical benchmarking to evaluate its cognitive abilities more like a human than a narrow AI model. So they're saying that it needs to be measured like a human rather than just a traditional, very linear AI model. GPT-4 shows artificial general intelligence sparks with core mental capabilities, including reasoning, creativity, and deduction. It has expertise in various topics such as literature, medicine, coding, and can perform various tasks. So what the researchers say that the immediate next steps include defining AGI, defining what it means to actually have artificial general intelligence, building missing artificial general intelligence components in language learning models, and then understanding the origin of intelligence in recent language learning models. So I think it's pretty crazy that researchers are actually needing to come up with a different benchmarking for how artificial intelligence is actually going to be measured. Now they're saying that it's artificial general intelligence because it's expounded past what traditional artificial intelligence from the previous language learning models could be measured by. It is now surpassed, it has now sparks of a more general intelligence. What I found also really interesting was that they listed out all the different ways that GPT-4 is lacking, but the crazy thing is that they're working on even more advanced artificial intelligence right now, and those things that they pointed out as being problems of GPT version 4 may be corrected by the next version, GPT version 5, for example. And when future AGI language learning models are able to have inner dialogue, long-term memory, short working memory, confidence that they're confident in what they are doing and are able to do continual learning and are able to adapt themselves, we are going to be way past where Elon Musk and everybody else is afraid of the future of AGI. At that point, we may have more of a sentient being. There's some pretty crazy stuff happening in the world of AI right now, and if you want to keep up to date, then subscribe to this channel.